What is going on, guys? Welcome to a how I shot it video. Got my coffee here. Today I had the idea of doing almost like an explanation, like behind the scenes, like tutorial kind of deal of how I essentially shot a video. So in this case, I'm going over an Eshoot concept video. This is Dean and Rakhi's Eshoot concept video today. So I thought I'd just kind of explain how I shot it, kind of like a behind the scenes, I guess, like director. I don't consider myself a director, but like a director's commentary essentially on the video. So yeah, this will essentially how I shot it. That's really what this is. So let's get right into it. Gotta open it up with the logo. So right off the bat, there's two things. One is I love using drone shots in films in general when I can. I think it just offers such a unique perspective. On this particular day when we were shooting, it was a little bit of a hazy day, and there was like that skyline shot of Toronto at the start that you saw there. So it was kind of hazy, and I was able to punch it a little bit in post-production to give it a little more contrast and whatnot. So I thought it was just a cool opening shot because we were at University of Toronto downtown, and just a beautiful like shot of the skyline. So I opened it up with that, and we start the video shoot here with Dean actually on his bike, and obviously I'm shooting that with a drone as well. The funny thing about this is that you obviously don't see it on the clip or anything, and Dean, if you're watching, you know this, but Dean got pulled over by a cop while he was riding his bike into the campus, and it was just so hilarious. I got it on like drone footage because it was pretty high, but yeah, he actually got pulled over. He wasn't even driving that far. It was like literally like less than a few hundred feet. On his bike. He was literally, it was just for the shot, right? But he ended up getting pulled over, and that was hilarious. Didn't get a ticket though, thank God. So this shot that you see right here where it zooms in, like from the top to the bottom, obviously that was not done with one camera. You know, if you do have any, or if you do know anything about video production or whatnot. So that's a set of two shots that I stitched together. I knew exactly what I wanted to do in my head. So the shot up top was obviously shot with the drone, and the shot down here I shot with a camera on my gimbal, and I kind of like stitched them together and added in the effect, which was really cool. Another thing I want to point out is the music that I use for my edits. Like, this is a really good point because I mentioned this to clients quite a bit in terms of music selection. It's like really important when you're dealing with an Eshoot video or even a next day edit. When it comes to any kind of film that you're producing, if you've seen any kind of movie that you really like or really like hit you emotionally, it usually has a really nice soundtrack that goes behind it or some kind of music element that pushes it over the edge. And I find that really lends itself a lot to like any kind of film that I produce or make or next day edit or Eshoot film or whatever it may be. It plays a big role. So in choosing the music for this Eshoot video, I went through like a library while I was like watching the footage. I kind of do that with almost anything I shoot, and then I let them almost like choose each other. It's like hard to explain, but I just go with the music that tends to fit the footage and works and everything, and that's what I got here, and I was really happy with it. It turned out really, really nice. again, like a really nice day at the campus. And you'll notice I try to incorporate shots of the campus itself into all the footage. That's really important when shooting a video. You want to like set the scene, set the atmosphere, see what's going on and everything. Yeah, it was a really nice day. I was really happy with how everything turned out. Yes, to sun flares. I'm always looking for like the sun like peeking between like things. I can get it like flaring into the lens like that. It's yeah, it just adds that pop, you know? So we have the outro shot here. So this was a 2-location Eshoot, right? So we have the outro, essentially the outro from the university. And we had Dean and Rakhi on the back of the bike. They didn't go that far. I don't know if cops or any like law enforcement is watching this, but this was all done safely and like legally. And so we had Dean and Rakhi. We had Rakhi on the back of the bike here, and they kind of just drove off a few feet, and I got like a panning shot. But you know, overall I try to focus on like the subtleties and like essentially just the couple itself, you know. I think that's what really matters. I think you don't really need like gimmicky stuff to push a video that much, really. If you have a nice couple and they're in love and that shows, like that's all I really try to capture. So we're gonna head over to the second location right now in this video, and yeah, let's give it a look. So this is all Toronto again. Like if you're not familiar with Toronto, they do a event every year called the Canadian National Exhibition, which is essentially like a fair that takes place right in downtown Toronto at the exhibition grounds. And that opening shot that I got there, I actually looked into it because I wanted to get like a nice like drone shot of the CNE, but it's actually illegal. You're not allowed to fly there. And I do obviously obey the law when I fly my drone, just in case anyone's watching. So there were no drone shots. So obviously I didn't fly a drone there. So how I ended up getting that opening shot was we were on a Ferris wheel, and you'll see another shot of that here as well. We were on a Ferris wheel, and I had my camera up there, and I just kind of got a shot of just like an overarching shot of the entire surrounding like CNE area. So that's how I kind of accomplished that. I kind of fake it as a drone shot. I honestly don't know if people that know that it's not a drone shot, but now you know, I guess. So again, this is like, you see like the Ferris wheel, that was the Ferris wheel that we were on, and that's where I got the shot from. So I got a few shots up there with Dean and Rakhi as well and everything, and those turned out really nice. So with this particular Eshoot, like we were shooting, the UFT shoot got a little later than expected, and I thought that would happen to a certain extent, but this isn't the first time I've shot in like a fair environment, like meaning like a carnival kind of environment. So that's an interesting point, because a lot of people wouldn't even think of shooting video at night like this outdoors. Like you have no light source unless you bring your own, which I didn't, right? Most people wouldn't even think about shooting at night like this, but when you're shooting in like a carnival fair setting, there's a lot of lights and a lot of ambient light coming from a lot of different places. So if you know where and when to shoot, lighting is not an issue, which is exactly what worked for me really well here. So you have to be pretty on your feet and creative to make this kind of thing work. And that's how I was able to accomplish like the lighting at the shoot here. One of my favorite shots of the entire shoot, right here. They had this gigantic Ferris wheel. This was not the one we went on. It would have been cool if we went on this one because it was bigger. We didn't go on this one and there was a huge line for it, but I knew I wanted to incorporate it in some kind of way. So we had like the stalls behind us, which lit up Dean and Rakhi, and then the Ferris wheel itself is just so grand. And like, just from a visual standpoint, it looked like so sick. This was such a tricky shot to get because it was so busy with people walking back and forth. Like I had to have them stand there and attempt to get, even though it's like such a small shot, it took so much time just to get it because there were so many people walking back and forth, and this place is so busy. But it turned out like super, super dope. All these games, I have them play a few games that you'll notice like in this video. They're all real, none of it's set up, so they were legit. I was just like, yo, like play this game. I kind of thought about the shot and then I got the shots that I needed for it. The only thing I set up was this guy who handed them the toy. He gave it to them and then I was like, hey, do you mind just taking it back and handing it back to them again? That was really the only thing that I set up in terms of the games, but all the other games you see and everything, it's all like straight up real, like not set up. Like I was just like, yo, go play a game, see who wins kind of thing, right? So and these are all like genuine reactions. Like I don't know, like Dean and Rakhi are gonna have, you guys are gonna have to tell me if like you're actually competitive. But like they were going hard at whack-a-mole and like Dean won and it was so funny, man. He was just like on the moon. It was so funny. So there's a little like Easter egg that I incorporated into this video here. You'll notice when we come up to like the water gun game or whatever, I kind of panned over 12, which is the month that they were getting married in. So I think only Dean and Rakhi really knew that because I told them, I was like, hey, I'm gonna get that shot, but it's a little Easter egg. And like, again, down to the whole lighting thing, Ferris wheels are always, not Ferris wheels, sorry, merry-go-rounds are like a surefire way because they're so lit up on the inside. If you're dealing with a lack of lighting, this is like a go-to place where you can definitely get lighting because they're usually lit pretty well. They got lights everywhere, right? So. Really nice. I was really happy how everything turned out given the circumstances. Like, I mean, University of Toronto was not hard to make look nice. And then the CNE was a little more challenging just because of the lighting and how crowded it was. But like the end product was so sick, and everything came together so nicely. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if there's any other videos maybe that you've seen that you want me to break down. I'm probably gonna do this again, break down a few more videos that I've done if you guys are interested in seeing that part of things. So that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.